Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerf News, your number one source for Nerf newsing on the net. And I'm your host, Drek, and we're talking about Star Wars today because Hasbro owns the Star Wars intellectual property rights to make toys for their things. That's why they're Hasbro brands of every kind of Star Wars toy, etc., and so forth. It's big IP for them, and we pay out the nose for it, and they know it, sadly. Which is going to be a rather sore subject while we're talking about the subject of today's video, which is that they just released the images for the 3 Star Wars blasters that they will be releasing for the upcoming Star Wars film for 2016, Star Wars Rogue One. And I'm so excited about this movie. I am super duper excited about this one particular blaster. This is the Jyn Erso Glow Strike Deluxe. And it's going to cost 50 United States dollars. That's insane. It's going to cost 50 United States dollars despite being exactly what it looks like, which is a complete Strife resell. That is a rev trigger, a regular trigger, and a clipazine. Now, there are a few things that are supposed to justify this price tag to us, the fans of not only Nerf blasters, but also Star Wars in general. 1, it comes with glow-in-the-dark darts. That's pretty cool. 2, it charges those glow-in-the-dark darts with an internal glow-in-the-dark magazine. Or not magazine, but technology. You can use any magazine, unlike firefly tech from the past, more hearkening to things like the electric eel from the vintage line. That is what it's trying to do. It's glowing everything inside this chamber and then it's firing it. Now it's also got FX sounds, which means that this is going to shoot lasers in the glow-in-the-dark darts, and it's going to make those sweet, sweet pew-pew noises. Now, it's got a lot of stuff going for it other than that. It's our first Strife reshell that we've seen outside of the Modulus line that has not only an in-strike barrel attachment point, but also a stock attachment point. Now, it's got a tactical rail up top. That's not as exciting as the overall shape and style of the blaster. Now, we're going to talk about this for just a second. The reason this blaster looks this way is because Star Wars has always had a pretty good habit of taking their weaponry from the real world. So, what happens when you take a fantasy weapon that was designed from real-world weapons and turn it into a toy? Well, you get a toy that looks a lot like a real-world weapon. That's not science, that's just math. Anyway, you wind up with this. Now, I've heard that it looks kind of like an AK-74U. I'm seeing a much more of an M4 type platform here, but the bottom line is the cosplayers are going to go nuts. It's going to cost 50 United States dollars, but that's really cheap for a base blaster for a prop if you're using this for your Jyn Erso cosplay. And if you think that I'm not going to do everything in my power to get the Draculina to cosplay Jyn Erso, you are out of your mind, because this is going to be a really cool character, I feel. Now, it's also good for the Milsim nerfers. They're going to love having something that already looks Milsim but has standard Hasbro internals. It kind of looks like something that could be a cheap Chinese knockoff, and yet it isn't. It is an original Hasbro blaster, which means that the internals are going to be rock solid, and it's going to handle all of our usual Strife modifications and goodness well. Now that we've spent a lot of time talking about the admittedly $50 Hero Blaster from the movie, that I think is going to be actually worth the money. I know, that's hard for me to stomach, that $50 for what's a glorified Strife is going to be worth it. Maybe I'm just that big of a Star Wars fan, maybe I'm a sucker, but I really, really am excited for this blaster. Now let's talk about what I'm not excited for. This is the Cassie and Endor single shot garbage blaster. There's a lot of things that I hate about this. It is a single shot blaster. It has the same glow in the dark technology, but who cares? It costs 20 United States dollars. That's the price of a regular Strife, guys, and it's not got a lot going for it. It's a tiny pistol. It's got a fake box magazine, which I can't stand. I hate fake things. Fake triggers drive me crazy in kill blasters. Fake magazines are even worse. This is a single shot front loading blaster for over double the cost of what that should cost, and it doesn't even look that great to me. I'm not excited at all. I don't care. I don't think it's worth it. I will make a review on it begrudgingly, but this is not going to be a very good blaster, guys. I'm sorry, the performance is going to be garbage, and it's just not worth your $20. Now, as big of a sin as the Cassie and Endor blaster here is, let's talk about the Imperial Death Trooper Deluxe, and Deluxe it is not. This is a 3-shot rotating shotgun blaster with a stock attachment point that this kid looks like he wants to sink into his teeth. It's terrible because it's going to cost 35 United States dollars. If you're not paying out the nose for those extra licensing fees to Hasbro, to Star Wars, to Disney, then this is just criminal. Like $35 for a triad? Question mark? It's not even going to get solid performance. It's a pump action triad with what I assume is a rotating front barrel. Yes, it's going to have the glow-in-the-dark technology to light up these darts. I don't believe that this is coming with FX noises. It almost doesn't even matter if it is. It's a 3-shot front-loading blaster. I thought we were better than this, Hasbro. You took wonderful intellectual property. You took 3 stabs at it. You gave us absolutely overpriced garbage, more garbage, and something that I think is going to be pretty cool, even though it's also obscenely overpriced. And I get that everybody's got to make their buck, but come on. Like, $35 for a triad? A triad costs $5 and probably performs better than this in a smaller package. Also, this blaster just doesn't scream Star Wars to me at all. Like, maybe it's that I haven't seen the movie yet and this is going to be like an iconic new piece of Stormtrooper or Death Trooper in this case gear, but this looks like hot garbage, guys. This looks like a knockoff toy. To end all knockoff toys, this looks like a Buzz Lightyear blaster that Disney pulled off the shelves, threw the Star Wars logo on, said, hey, charge $35, they'll pay it, and lo and behold, hopefully we don't, but some people will, and they're just going to keep milking it. So this is a huge disappointment. Even this guy looks disappointed, or serious, hard to say. In other news, we got a really good look at K2. This has nothing to do with Nerf. I'm just really excited to see Washburn from Firefly voicing a droid from the Star Wars universe. I hope this guy is as awesome and cool as he looks in these images, and I'm just really, really excited for the film. How about you guys? Are you excited for another Star Wars installment? I know it's not part of the main trilogy, but I'm just stoked to get more Star Wars this December. It's like the only Christmas present I'm going to get, and I'm just really, really excited about the Star Wars movie. So I'm also excited about this blaster. I couldn't say any more mean things about this if I tried because I absolutely hate these two, but I'm very excited for the droid. I think that this blaster is going to be great, and I hope you guys are having an awesome and spacey Star Wars spoiler day. Thank you very much for watching. Drac out.